Okay.
Hey, hi all. How many people do we have?
We
Another
have
four
close to
minutes to
44
go.
now.
Oh, it's okay. We'll start at
2:30.
sharp at 2:30.
Hey Shubrata, what is that show off picture?
Pretty sure.
Something PGPX, something you're posting, pointing to?
It's nothing. I've removed it.
One second.
Mega sure.
Evidence. I can
Yeah.
tell them what the show-off picture is. Shall I?
No. Okay. So let me share my screen and let me know if you can see it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Where is the Google form to write?
There is no Google form to write, I'll tell you. So here are the rules. Okay. You're free to Google. Okay. All answers are to be DM'd in Zoom to Deepayan Shen, who is our scorer. I guess you can check out that if you're able to see him in your list of people to be DM'd. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rule is, so we have too many people. So what we have said is, while you're free to Google, your speed of network and your speed of Googling will matter. So we'll take in only the first three correct answers. We'll give you, 30 seconds to a minute for every question. Okay. And after that, we will close it, right? So and you need to DM your answers in that time to Deepayan. Okay. Remember, only the first three correct scores will get points. They will get same points, 10 points for each, unless otherwise mentioned. So there might be 15 points for some questions, right? And after the closure of the question, you can put up your hands. I guess there is a hand put up option available, and Nambi Rajan will choose one of you to answer, right? Because I will be sharing this, right? So I can't see who all are, raising up their hands. So, Nambi Rajan, will you do that?
Yeah, I can help you with that.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes left, and let's see how many people do we have now?
We have close to 53 people.
Yeah, we'll start sharp at 2:30. You can form your. If you have a team, you can form your. Or you don't need to form. You can just message in your partners to discuss the answers before writing it down. Okay, you need to DM Deepayan, who is our scorer for today, and we will not be sharing the scores after each one. We will mail you the final scores along with the winners of the quiz. That's fine. Yeah, we have sharp 1 hour because I think there is another quiz which starts at 3:45. We have 20 questions. The questions will be simple because obviously there are so many participants and we want to keep things simple. Yeah. Okay. There's only 1 minute left for this.
Wait for a minute. Close to 114 people have registered. So
I know.
bring in-
So we'll give it now 1 more minute.
Okay. And the chat has been set to host only. So just if you're chatting, if you see only host, you can just answer that.
Yeah. So, you can see Deepayan's name in the list to be pinged, right? All of you?
Yes, we can.
There are some 60 names. By the time we reach him, only it'll be like.
No, he's one of the co-hosts, so it'll be on top. It'll probably be the first. It's the third.
So,
No, okay, yeah, it's that.
And he's kindly called himself answer here.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice, got it. No, I was searching for Deepa and then I realized his answer here.
yeah. Okay. So we are at 2:30 and as discussed, we'll join directly on time. Right? Please keep yourselves on mute. Right? We don't want to hear the answers you're discussing. Right? And with that, let me. Okay, I can't. Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yeah. So, Nambi, can you put everybody on mute, please, except us?
Yeah. Okay.
Done. Subrata, unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah. I figured that out. Yeah. Okay. So here comes the first question. Make sure that you are DMing the right person.
Hey, Subrata, just hold on now because I'm not able to ping my teammate on Zoom. Just please hold on 1 sec.
No. You can ping him on anywhere else, right? You can ping him on WhatsApp. We have disabled, I think, pinging on Zoom,
Yeah.
so that you
Okay,
can only
thanks.
ping the hosts.
Okay.
You can use WhatsApp. Okay. So here comes the. Just give me 1 second. I'll bring my timer. Okay, I'm getting a call. Just a second, yeah. Yeah, okay. So we are starting the first question. Yeah. Okay. Are you able to see this? Okay. So Edwin Budding was an English engineer who worked as a foreman in the fabric industry. Okay. He was inspired by a machine used to cut nap from velvet to make X. Right. When the X was introduced in the English lawns in 1860s, the gardeners and estate owners raised two objections, both related to the method to power of X. Right? What is X? And what were the two reasons why the gardeners and estate owners were protesting? So obviously, you need to give me three things here, right? Obviously, Edwin Budding made up a question. I mean, made up a product, right? Which he wanted to introduce, which was inspired by what he saw in the fabric industry, right? He was inspired by this machine which used to cut nap from the velvet, and when this machine was introduced in the English lawns, which will help you figure out what it is used for, the gardeners and the estate owners raised two objections, both related to the method to power up X, as in what was X powered by, right? So it could be electricity or something else, right? Think of the sources of power in 1860s, but the method of powering, right? People objected to it, right? Because it would be more work for the gardeners and the estate owners because of the method to power it up, right? It would become more answer. Okay, some of the people are asking how to answer. Please DM it direct to your answers directly to Deepayan, who I mean, you can see has answered here in the list, right? He has named himself as answer here or something. Yeah. So okay, I will start the timer for this now. You can start sending in your answers, and remember, only the first three top answers will be chosen, right? So I'll give you about 45 seconds to write in your answers.
Subrata, I request, can you go full screen so we don't see the bottom nav bar?
I am okay, sure.
Yeah, you see, this font is very small, not able to read the last line type. Maybe goes full screen or something.
I
Got it, Ishita.
yeah.
Yeah, this is better.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we have given you a minute's time to write it down. So we'll close the time for answering, and you can raise up your hands if you think you know the answer. Nambi, please choose one.
Bala Varshit Reddy has raised his hand. Bala Varshit, you can unmute yourself and share it.
Plan more.
Okay, and why were the people protesting? You need to answer all three parts. Why were the two reasons the people were protesting?
You want to pass, Bala?
Yeah, let's find someone else.
Okay, Jay Rana. Can you go ahead and answer the other two?
So I to this it's long because
I can hear the movie behind you, but not you.
yeah. So lawnmower and the protesting was because it was powered by coal. So coal was not easily available and there was it's very
Okay, no, anybody else?
Sumit Joshi.
It's a land mover and they use steam, so gardeners found it really hard to power it.
Okay, no, so we'll close the answer. So let me show you the answer, right? So obviously X is lawnmower and the mowers were horse drawn, right? And the owners objected that it would cause A, the hoof marks, right, which had to be patched in the lawns, and B, the horse droppings, which had to be picked, right? So yeah, so you were on the right track, but it was not steam or coal or anything else. It was horse drawn, and obviously hoof marks and horse droppings were the issues.
You will give part marks for lawnmower, no?
If nobody else has answered anything, we will give part marks for lawnmowers.
Okay.
Subrata, I have answered both lawnmower as well as two reasons. One, loss of employment and horse droppings.
No. Those are not the reasons, right? Okay, so only these answers will be taken in. Nothing else.
I've mentioned
Land
horse
mover
droppings.
here in the answer slide is a typo, right? It's lawn mover, right?
It's lawnmower, yeah.
No, Subrata, I mentioned.
It's okay, fine. Let's move to. We have only 1 hour. There is no competition. You are not going to win anything here, right? Okay, let's move to the second question. Okay, so this is an equation, right? So the equation is the first person. Okay, he made this particular product. It's obviously named after a word called by heat, but it gained popularity because of these people. Right, I'll give you a hint about these people. Right, apart from one of them, who was the president of USA, all 5 of them were basically adventurers. So you can see the Wright brothers, right? You can see Count Zeppelin. You can see Edmund Hillary, and you can see obviously people who have gone to different extreme parts of the world. Right. So what I want is, what was this product which became very popular due to the fact that all of these people were using it, right? And that's why the people basically thought that, okay, if all these people who are adventurers are using it, maybe we should use it in our life as well. Hint is, all of us have used it at our homes, if not at least seen it, right? So I'll open the pounds now. And I'll give you 30 seconds exactly for this one, because this is a very short answer.
You don't need the name of the guy, right? Just what it is.
No. I just need the product. No need to name the guy. This.
And if you've joined in late, the way of answering is in the chat. You have to answer the chat. Send the answer in chat to Dipayansan. His name is answer here, Dipayansan, in your participant list.
Okay, so I will close the pounds now. We have given 40 seconds for people to pounce. Okay, so raise your hands if you think you know the answer, and Nambi, please choose people.
Zaman, please unmute yourself and share the answer.
Yeah, I think this is the thermos flask. Thermos.
Yeah, you're correct. This is as simple as, thermos. So James Dewar made the thermos, right? It named him after the Greek word for heat. It was popularized and it was endorsed by all these people. You can see William Taft, Ernest Shackleton, Edmund Hillary, Wright brothers, Zeppelin, and Robert Peary. All of them took them to the different parts of the world, and people thought, okay, if it can survive in the extremes, it can survive at our homes, and it became popular. Now you would have understood that the quiz is, yeah.
Yeah, so can we declare whoever pounced it, the names of the first 3?
No need. This is not a competitive quiz, so we will just send it in the last. Okay. Yeah, we have only 1 hour, Dipan. Okay, so we will move to the next question. Okay, this is a pretty simple one. So I just need this guy's, surname, which gave us a particular word in the world of fashion. He was a soldier, inventor, politician, blah, 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 and all of that. And he won quite a few battles and lost quite a few. His name was similar to that of a fiery West Indian pace bowler, but his surname gave us a particular word in the world of fashion, right? And that word is basically, looking at you in the picture. So if you look at the picture properly, you should be able to give me the word. I don't need his surname, right? I need the particular word which he gave to the world of fashion, right? And I'll give you 30 seconds to answer this. I know this is a very simple quiz, so I'm hoping all of you will be answering this question.
Butterfly. Oh.
Yep. Another 5 seconds and we should be done. Okay. Raise your hands if you think you know the answer, and Rambi, please choose people.
Arun TP. Please unmute and answer.
This is Ambrose Burnside and these are sideburns.
It's absolutely correct. This is Ambrose Burnside, and and he gave the word sideburns, right? Okay. I hope I'm not too far. Not going too fast.
It's a good pace. Go ahead.
Okay. The next question, right? Okay. So what you see in this picture, right, was very popular in the 17th century in Europe. Don't go by Johnson and Johnson. This is a later version that came in, right? But whatever you are seeing, the objects, right, next to that envelope, right, it was very popular in the 17th century in Europe due to a particular affliction which troubled the people of the times. Okay, named after the French word for a fly, right? What were these used for? I don't need what the names of this. I just need what were these used for, right? And the question will be very pertinent, in today's time, because 17th century people were afflicted by something similar, right? And they wanted to basically do something about it, and they used this, right? So I just need maybe 2 or 3 keywords, and that should be good, right? So I'll start the time now. I don't need the name of this one, right? I don't need the name of the objects. I just need what were they mainly used for. And please stop marking these things on the screen, right? Okay. Yep. And 40 seconds for everyone to type in, and I am closing the pounds now. Okay, I hope everybody has pounds. So yeah, raise your hands.
Rajarishi Chanda, please unmute and share.
We answered beauty spots.
No, I don't need that. These are for beauty spots, but I need something else. These are called beauty spots, yes, but I need something else. Anybody else?
Venugopal Chapuri, can you please unmute and share the answer?
Is it French Renaissance?
Can you be a bit louder, please?
Okay, Jatin Gulati, please unmute and answer. Jatin Gulati.
Is it a beauty spot?
No. I know that's what you will get if you Google it. That's what the name comes in. That's a beauty spot. That's fine. But I wanted what it's used for. So I'm showing you the answer. Yeah, it's called beauty patches or the beauty spots, right? Or mouche. That's the French word for fly. But they were basically used to hide pockmarks caused by smallpox, right? So anybody who has written pockmarks or smallpox, right, will get the answer. So nothing else. I only need smallpox or pockmarks in there, or pockmarks caused by smallpox, fine, right? Or marks by smallpox or anything. If you have written, no points for beauty patches, beauty spots, or mouche. Okay. Okay. The next question. This is a out and out biz question. So for the biz quizzers out there, the popularity of this product was achieved through particularly catchy campaign, right? Which had a child in every advertisement to signify that the woman in the ad was a respectable woman, most probably a mother. Ironically, Even this innocuous ad raised a lot of controversy due to the suggestiveness of the tagline. Okay, and Life magazine famously refused to publish it. To counter this, the tagline was tested between men and women, and obviously no woman found any sexual overtone in this ad, whereas all men did. Speaks a lot about the thought process. But anyway, Life ultimately relented, and the product sold well. By the 1960s, 70% women and 2 million men in America were using this product. Such was the ubiquitousness of its use that it led to a permanent change in a feature in a specific document which is used worldwide. So I need two things. I need either the product or the tagline and a specific change which happened due to this product. And your time starts now. So I need a specific change, right? So there was something which was people were supposed to do earlier. Once this whole thing came in, they said, okay, you don't need to do that anymore. That was the change in the document. Okay, I'll give you another 20 seconds to write in your answers. And we are closing the pounds. Okay, has anybody raised hands?
No, Subrata. Anyone knows the answer wants to?
Anybody wants to guess? Even if it's wrong, it's fine.
Marlboro Man? Yeah, J. Rana.
Okay, not Marlboro Man, no. Anybody else?
I'll guess.
Subrata, this is Clarial. Does not see and you don't
Okay,
need
and
to
what happened? What change happened?
Driving license does not require to be mentioned the hair color because people are.
Okay, you're very close, but it's not the driving license, but it's actually the passport. Okay, passports earlier.
Also, boss.
Okay, maybe. I mean, I just know about the passport. So
No,
okay,
driving license too.
No, driving license also. That is absolutely definitely.
Okay, fine. I'll give points to you. I had passport here. That's not a problem. Anybody who mentions passport or driving license gets the points, right? And it's clear all and Dusty doesn't see. Okay. Moving on.
Nice question.
Next question. Okay. So originally, this guy was clean shaven and attired in black, right? Solid red pants were introduced during Andrew Jackson's presidency, while the flowing beard appeared during Abraham Lincoln, inspired by president's own flowing beard. His current look and feel, though, was done by Thomas Nast and looked more like the meat packer from Troy. The meat packer from Troy's pic you can see on this one, right? Who gave the character his name, right? So what are we talking about? If you want a hint, I will show you a picture of the early days of the whatever we are talking about. Okay, so this guy that you see, the bald guy in the middle, right, is the, okay, please put yourselves on mute, I can hear a lot of you. Okay, so this bald guy in the middle was how he originally looked like, right? But his later look was completely different, right? So please start pouncing and your time starts now. It's a short answer. So we'll give you 30 seconds to answer. I see a lot of raised hands already, so I guess a lot of people know what is happening here. Okay. Okay, so 6 raised hands and I'm closing pounds now. Okay, can you ask Nambi?
Yeah, I will pick a new person. Zaman, Arun, I see that you have raised your hand. Since you have already answered, I will go. Siddharth Singh, can you please unmute and answer? Siddharth Singh.
I think it's Uncle Sam from the wartime advertisement and stuff.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. So this guy is Uncle Sam, right? This is how Uncle Sam looked originally, and this is how he ended up looking like, right? So yeah, moving on to the next question. Okay, so if these three, okay, were not chosen on the opposition of a painter or sculptor whose fame grew in proportion to the size of his works, right? What works are originally supposed to increase South Dakota's economy through tourism are we talking about? Okay, so these three were the original chosen subjects for this work, but ultimately the the painter or the sculptor said that no, we can't use these people. They are like while they are Western heroes, we need better people for this particular work, right? And it was originally supposed to increase South Dakota's economy through tourism. So what are we talking about? You either give me the name of the work or the painter sculptor who did it. So, and I will start time now. It's a short answer, so I'll give you 30 seconds, and I see already so many people have raised their hands. Yeah, and we are closing pounds now. So yeah, let me see who is
Abhijit Bhattacharya, please unmute and share the answer.
Yeah, so this is Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely correct. So this is Mount Rushmore. The original three legendary Western heroes chosen were Kit Carson, Jim Breezer, and John Colter, right? But Borglum said that this is an epic thing that you're going to build, and you better have presidents. So the presidents were chosen instead of these three people. Right. Moving on to the next question. I think we are doing good on time. Okay, in 18th century England, this word described an English dandy who affected foreign mannerisms and fashions, particularly French and Italian. Okay, this word finds pride of place in a musical piece which was inspired by the fact that the British redcoats were dapper in attire while the colonial forces were a ragamuffin lot. When George Washington's troop defeated the Brits in Yorktown, they played this tune in defiance, someone akin to the sentiment of they lead their own words, and this made it very popular nationally. So basically, the colonial forces, were ribbing it in for the Britishers. So, what are we talking about? Obviously, a musical piece which all of us would have heard about. Okay, I just need maybe two keywords. Yeah, not more than that. And yes, time has started already. I see Arun has already raised hand. He knows all the answers, I guess.
Yeah, he raises the answer all the questions.
Yeah.
Maybe I can.
No. Hold on. Let everybody answer, and then we'll see. Okay. So we are almost 30 seconds into it, and I will close pounds now. Yeah. Nambi, can you choose someone?
Yeah. T. Anirudh, please unmute and share the answer.
Yeah, so is this Humpty Dumpty?
Not Humpty Dumpty.
Is it Yankee Doodle?
Who's this?
Ajit.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this is Yankee Doodle, right? And the fact that this wig that this guy is wearing is called a macaroni wig, and so that's where this whole thing comes to, right? Yankee Doodle went to town and whatever, and it called it macaroni. So the macaroni, it is basically from the macarons who came in, right? So the answer is, as long as it's written by Yankee Doodle, you get all the points. Moving forward to the 9th question, we are almost halfway through the quiz and doing quite good on time, right? So the guy you see on the picture, right, was a 4th century Christian physician, right, and a martyr known as the All Merciful, right? He was beheaded under the orders of Emperor Diocletian. His name literally means All Lion. What article of daily use is named after him, right? So I'll give you a hint. The hint is that prior to the pandemic, most of us were using it, right, in our daily lives, but the pandemic has reduced its usage. And your time will start now. You get 30 seconds. And I'll close the pounds now. Okay, Nabi, you can choose people.
Yeah, Vinayak Sharma, please unmute and answer.
So the answer must be pants because this is Saint Pantaleon.
Yes, so this
Or whatever the pronunciation should
this
be.
is Saint Pantaleon, right? And obviously it comes from Pan, which is all, and Leone, which is lion, and pants are named after him. Okay, moving forward. So in the 1660s, the French army had a Croatian regiment. The French were very impressed by the Croat uniform and adopted a scarf worn by them and named it after the same regiment, right? Charles II of England, who was in exile, picked it up when he came back to England, and it became quite popular, especially with the macaronis who came in an earlier question. So the answer is, what are we talking about? I'll accept two answers, both single words. And your time starts now. Okay, and we'll close pounds.
Venkatesh Srinivasan.
Now. Yeah.
Which are the answer?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is nice question, Subrata, by the way. Thank you. This is cravat or the necktie.
Yeah, absolutely correct. This is the cravats named after the Croats or the ties. Right? So, yeah, it's 2:58 and we are halfway through. So, I'm hoping we'll end by 3:30, right? Which is our time anyway. So, going forward, next question. Okay. So this product originated in Mesopotamia about 3,400 years ago, and its names come from a word meaning shade. In Egypt, it represented the body of the celestial goddess Nut, whose picture you can see, right? The most interesting debate around them, however, arose under the Roman Emperor Domitian over their use in public events by women spectators, right? Which discomfited the men in a certain way. Domitian decided in favor of the women and closed this debate. So what was the discussion about? Right? The picture will give you some hint. I want both the product name and what was the discussion about, or how did it discomfit the men. So I need both the parts for a full answer. If nobody answers the fully, we will give points for the just the name of the product itself. But I hope the other part will also get answered because it's pretty simple. So your time has started already. I hope people are answering. Okay. I've given 45 seconds for people to answer and close pounds now. Anybody pouncing? Or basically who wants to answer? There is no pounds. Anybody want to answer?
No one has raised their hand.
Okay, I see Vinayak Sharma has raised his hand. Yeah, go ahead, Vinayak.
I'll go with a wild guess. Is it lipstick?
Not lipstick.
No idea. Okay.
Yeah, Anurag.
Is this yoga?
No, you're not yoga. Anyone else?
Rajarshi Chanda.
Yeah,
Okay,
I raised
Rajarshi?
the hand.
Yeah, going by shade, I would guess this is umbrella.
And the other part? How did it discomfit the men?
Block their view, I believe.
Yeah, so the answer is the use of parasols or umbrellas by women. In case it rained during public events, it would block the view of men and they would not be able to see the gladiatorial match, right? Because obviously the umbrellas would block their view. And the emperor decided that, okay, women had the right to protect themselves from rain. Right? So this is parasols or umbrellas. The word for shade was umbra. Okay, simple question. This word today can mean Habitat zones formed by mature tree crowns, outer layer of leaves of an individual tree or a splendid drape. The word dough is derived from a word which means mosquito. Okay, Herodotus in his history described how the Egyptians used this mosquito net to protect themselves from the pestilence, and the word gained traction from this usage. What are we talking about? And your time has started. It's a pretty simple question. All of us have heard this word. And I will close pounds in another 2 seconds. Closing pounds. Yeah.
Ajit Kannan, please unmute and share.
Canopy.
Yes. So this is obviously the word canopy, which comes from the Greek konops, right? Which means mosquitoes. Moving forward to the next question. This is the 13th in series, right? What you see in this picture is a predecessor to modern board games. It is played on a royal scale by Akbar, where slaves from the harem represented the pieces and moved the squares according to the throw of the dice. So what are we talking about, right? So this is the mandatory India question that we have, right? So you just need to name the this predecessor to modern board games, and you can start your writing the answers. Yep, and we'll close the pounds now.
Deepak Taneja. Deepak Taneja, please unmute and share the answer.
Yeah, I think it is Ludo.
Pachisi.
Ludo. Yeah, Pachisi.
So this is Pachisi, which is the predecessor of Ludo. Ludo was inspired from this. Okay, so the answer we would take is Pachisi and not Ludo, right?
Okay, no problems.
Subrata, I wrote Pachisi first, so
yeah, whoever wrote Pachisi will get points. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Next question. Can you all put yourselves on mute, please? Okay. The 14th question, simple one. So during the Middle Ages, mined metal was scarce in Europe and expensive. So it was not used for household utensils. Instead, they used a kind of an orange clay to create earthenware. In time, the name of this clay was forgotten. However, one of its most used applications took on the name in a kind of a literal fashion, as potters, not being etymologists, mistook the name for something else and literally gave this utensil its current shape and name. So, what are we talking of here? I just need the name of the thing that was, that got its name thus. Right? You just need to give me that, and yeah, your time starts now. Okay, we'll give another 5 seconds for people to pounce. And we'll close pounds now. Yeah.
Deepak Taneja.
Deepak has already answered, so let somebody else answer.
Ajit Kannan.
Okay, Ajit has also answered. Anybody else?
No.
Is this piggy bank?
Yeah, so this is piggy bank. This is piggy bank, this is pig clay, and the name piggy bank came from this.
Hey, I just wrote pig. I didn't write piggy bank. I just wrote PYGG pig.
That will fetch you points, not to worry. So anybody who's written PYGG or piggy bank will get points. if you are in the top 3, right, in terms of speed. Yeah. Okay, moving forward. Okay, this is a longish question in terms of not the question size but the answer size. So I'll give you some time to think. The origin of this item comes from a Latin word meaning little gift, or the Italian word meaning small arms. So it was the creation of a medieval Italian monk who awarded it to children as an incentive for memorizing prayers. The makers of these items played a memorable part in repelling the attack of the marauding Turks on their city and were awarded for this. So this question has 3 parts. What article? How did the makers repel the Turks? And what did they get as a reward? Right? So it will be 5 plus 5 plus 5 in here. Define, please note that. Right? And I am starting the time to answer. So you can start answering. I'm pretty sure all of us would know the name of this object. I mean, I'm pretty sure till now you would have known all the answers that have come in. So think simple. I'll give you enough time to answer. This is the longest.
15.
Can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Yeah, so I have almost given a minute for people to answer. I'll give another 10 seconds because it's a longish answer. And I'll close Pounds now, right? So, okay, so anybody is raising hands?
No one has raised their hand.
Okay, anybody trying? Anybody trying anything? Any paths? Raise your hands for paths. Okay, Jatin Gulati, tell us what you know.
Only article I guess is the souvenir.
What souvenir? Okay, no, not souvenir. Okay, who else has raised their hands?
Anirudh.
Okay, Anirudh.
So is this pretzel?
And the other parts?
Okay, I think pretzel does not spoil easily, right? So maybe, so it helped during the war ration, like that maybe.
Okay, no.
Award, I have no idea.
Anybody else? Okay, I see a third hand. Who's the third hand?
Zaman.
Okay, Zaman, go ahead.
Is it the croissants?
It's not the croissant. Okay, anybody else?
Avinash.
Yeah, I don't know whether you guys have got my answer. The noise which was made by these marauding Turks literally was heard by pretzel bakers because they used to work in the night.
Yes.
And as a result of which these guys woke up and went back and fought and literally repelled the...
Okay, and the third part, what did they get as a reward?
Pretzel, that's what I said.
Pretzel bakers repelled it because they were working at night and figured out the sound. But they got a reward, right? What was the reward?
Okay, we
was it the door?
Okay, I'll close this. Okay, I see another hand. Anybody answering for the third part?
Pinky, please unmute.
Is it that whole the whole setting up of coffee houses in Vienna thing? The license?
No, not setting up of coffee houses in Vienna. Okay, I'll close this since you have had so many answers. So pretzel obviously is the answer. They attempted to attack at night, and pretzel makers used to work from midnight to daybreak, right? And they heard the digging sounds and alerted the city. Viennese bakers got their own coat of arms with the pretzel. So this, you can see this coat of arms over here, right? They still use it. If you go to Vienna, you will see a lot of bakers using this coat of arms, and it has a pretzel in it because of their contribution to saving Vienna. Right? So Viennese bakers have their own coat of arms because of this. Right? So I guess we'll give points. If nobody has answered all 3 parts, we'll give points to whoever has answered 2 parts of it. Right? Deepan, please note that. Okay, moving forward. 16th question. I think this will go very fast. So Auguste Escoffier made both these dishes, the ones that you can see, inspired by an operatic soprano whose picture you see. So it's pretty simple. Just name the two dishes. Which country has honored her by featuring her in their currency? This also goes in for 5 plus 5 plus 5. Right? So 5 points for each dish and 5 points for the country which has honored her by featuring her in their currency. And your time has started. I'll give you 45 seconds because you need to write 3 things in there. Okay, and we'll close the pounds now. Yeah, Venki raised his hand. So first, so Venki, can you?
Yeah,
try?
this is Dame Nelly Melba. So the
Yeah.
two dishes, peach Melba and Melba toast, are named after her.
Yes.
And she features on the Australian currency.
Perfect on all counts. So this is Nelly Melba, this is Toast Melba and Peach Melba, and the currency is from Australia because she hails from that part of the world. Right? So we're doing good. Okay, we have 15 minutes and the last 4 questions. Okay, I need a single word for this question. Right? Connect this armed brigade from Tipu's army, which is called Kushuns, to the invention of the guy on the, not the left, on the right. Okay, but maybe your left. I don't know. No, you're right as well. So this guy's name might remind you of a whiskey brand, but it's a completely different context. So obviously, although his name is similar to that of a whiskey brand, that whiskey brand has got nothing to do with it. But if you have heard of this whiskey brand, which is pretty famous, you might even know the name of this guy. Okay, I got a bigger picture, the guy, and obviously this is not the, this is not the name of a brigade, but obviously this shows the war with Tipu and all. Right, so if everybody agrees, I can give a hint. Okay, let me give them
No
a hint
hints.
anyway.
No hints.
Okay, no hints, fine.
No, you go ahead and give it if you want to. Yeah, don't listen to others.
It's okay. Let's keep it that way. So yeah, I'll start the count now. I just need one word. Yeah, and which connects all of this. Right? So I'll give you 30 seconds to answer because only one word, right? Yep, and I'll close the pounds now. So who said no hints? I will ask him the answer.
I said no hints. Sorry.
Okay,
This is
Avinash. Go ahead,
Okay,
answer.
this guy William Congreve and Congreve's rockets. So rockets.
Okay, so I'll give you points. Although this guy is not William Congreve, right?
But rockets. Oh, safety. What is this?
Okay, not rockets. Yeah, so that is not
Even that also
is-
connects, right?
That connects, yes. But okay, anybody else? This is the
We are
hint.
giving
So,
points.
if you have written the connect as rockets, no points.
No, we've written Congreve, William Congreve.
Okay, Arpit, what is the connect?
His name is John Walker.
Okay.
And he invented matchboxes.
That is fine, but what is the connect?
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
Venki had raised his hand. So Venki?
Isn't there a Congreve whiskey also?
Okay, I'll give you the answer. So the Kushuns were the rocket brigade of Tipu Sultan, and Sir William Congreve actually was inspired, more likely copied his design of rockets from Tipu's rockets. John Walker was the founder of safety matches. He named them Congreves after Sir Congreve, right? So overall connect is Congreve. If you have written overall connect as Congreve, you get points.
Yeah, so if
Rockets
you've written
is not-
Congreve, you give points, right?
Congreve, okay. Anywhere in the answer you have Congreve, you'll get the points. Okay, the overall answer is Congreve. Safety matches were first called Congreves, which was obviously named after, William Congreve himself. Okay, moving on. Question 18. This might be slight toughy, might not be the only thing that you do not have, may not have heard, right? But try this. Root verb of this word means top of the mountain. The custom comes from the fact that in ancient times, people used to raise the food on top of their heads, especially when receiving it from people from the higher strata. This defined the origin of what tradition? As you can see here, the picture will give you some hint about the origin country of this tradition, right? So think about traditions from the origin country, which is hinted by this picture. And it's a very, I mean, it's a one word that I want from this. If you just write that one word, you will get the points. This is a know your QM question. If you know me and if you know my fascination about a certain country, you will guess the answer. Okay, we'll give you another 20 seconds to answer this question because you might need to think. Yep, closing pounds. Yeah, who has raised his hand? Did anybody raise their hand?
Ajit Kanan, I saw your raised hand.
I had, but I wasn't sure. I was gonna guess samurai.
Not samurai. No. Anybody else trying? Come on, there is no. This is just a try, right? So, anybody trying?
Raising a toast.
Okay, so this is the similar to raising a toast, but obviously not an English tradition, right? You can see. Anyone else?
Is it bowing before the sensei?
Not bowing before the sensei. Okay, I'll close it. Okay, so this is, if you go to Japan, you say itadakimasu before eating in Japan. It comes from the root verb itadaku, which means to raise, or also to the summit of a mountain, right? So the tradition of saying itadakimasu before eating in Japan comes from this whole thing, right? That you would raise the food before over your head, since you are getting it from somebody from the higher strata.
Arigato, Subratas.
Thank you. Okay. The last two questions. So this is the penultimate question. Simple one. In the Middle Ages, each member of a family did not eat the same food at the table. When a stag was caught in a village, the tenderest meat went to its captor, his eldest son, and his closest male friends. The captor's wife, his other children, and the families of his male friends received the innards of the deer, which were baked into a specific food item. What specific saying originated thus? And your time starts now. I mean, all of us, unlike the other one, all of us would have heard of this saying, right? So, we'll give you 30 seconds. It's a simple one. Okay, we'll close pounds now. And who raised the first hand?
Nikhil Chitlangia. Since
Okay.
Nikhil Chitlangia, please unmute.
Just a guess. The saying is probably to give someone the cold shoulder. So
No, that's the other way around. That's when you want people to move out. Yeah, that's not this one. No. Okay. Venki.
Yeah, this is eating humble pie. It is originally humble pie, which referred to deer, I think. And
yes, so it is to eat humble pie, which comes from the word humble, which evolved from the French word nomble, means deer's innards, right? So yeah, that's the answer would be to eat humble pie. Anybody who has mentioned humble pie in their answer and is in the top three will get the points. Okay, and we come to the end of this quiz. I'll show the last question. Before I show the last question, thank you everyone from participating in this quiz. I hope you all liked it. And yeah, let's go to the last question. Okay, this particular tradition has its origin in pre-Christian practices, and in most cultures, the item signified birth and resurrection. History has it that Simon of Cyrene, who carried Jesus' cross, had a profession involving this particular item. In parts of Germany, interestingly, in the early 1880s, these objects substituted for birth certificates and as such were honored in law courts as evidence of identity and age. So, what are we talking about? Something which also served as birth certificate. So if you, they would basically take one of these items and write your, a date of birth and something like that, and it would be honored in the law courts as evidence of your identity and age. So the time to pounce starts now. I need a 2-word answer. Okay, I need a 2-word answer, and you get 30 seconds to pounce. Okay, we are closing pounds now. We give 40 seconds for everybody to answer. Anybody booking up the, okay, Vinod Rajamani, yeah, please tell the answer. Vinod, please unmute yourself. Vinod, are you going to answer? Hello?
Okay, is there anyone else?
Are these Easter eggs?
Yes, so this is Easter eggs, right? And Easter eggs were basically used as so the guy Simon was basically was an egg seller, right? And yeah, so with that we come to an end of this quiz, and I hope you all have liked this quiz. Deepan, do you want to share the scores?
Yeah, it will take some time. I have written all the names down, so just to put it on the sheet, it will take some time.
Okay, so I guess we will be sharing the final scores and the standings to everybody who has participated in a mail. Right, if you have registered, you'll get the mail, and yeah, we'll be sharing it in the different WhatsApp groups as well. So even if you do not get the mail, you will basically get to see it in the WhatsApp groups. I hope all of you like this quiz. Thanks everyone for joining in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great quiz.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Nice quiz. Thank you, Subrata. Nice quiz.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Subrata. Nice quiz.